Hello and welcome back to House of Astralis. My name is Kayla and today I will be your cosmic guide as we read for this upcoming Gemini season. As always, this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I've intended for these messages to come out for your highest and best good. Thank you so much for the love, the courage, the support on my channel and my videos. I do appreciate it a lot. I do have an announcement to make, but I will be putting that at the end of the video, so please go make sure to watch that there, and all of my links for personal readings will be in the description. So to get us started, Gemini season begins on May 20th, and the energy noticeably shifts from Taurus. Where Taurus asks us to slow down, get grounded, and stay focused, Gemini opens everything back up. This is an air sign ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, thought, and connection. Things pick up pace here. Your mind gets busier, conversations get more interesting. Gemini is curious by nature. This is the season for exploring, learning, asking questions, and following what genuinely interests you. It's a great time to have the conversations you've been putting off, to start something new, or to simply let yourself be stimulated by new ideas and perspectives. Socially, this season tends to feel more active as well. Connections, networking, catching up. Gemini thrives in the exchange of ideas between people. So if you've been isolating or staying too much in your head, this season invites you back into dialogue, back into communication and community with other people. The shadow side of Gemini is also worth naming though, because this energy can scatter if you're not intentional about it. Gemini can jump from thing to thing, overthink, and struggle with committing to one direction. So the invitation isn't to chase every shiny idea. It's to stay curious and communicative while still being discerning about where your energy actually goes. Gemini season is asking you, what do you actually want to say, learn, or connect with this season? First up, we have the Three of Swords. And this is the card that's getting your attention. This is what's being asked to explore this season. And this is deep, going back to having conversations that you've been putting off. If you've been putting off the tougher conversations or maybe getting your feelings out there, conversations about the hurt and disappointment you've been facing, this is a great time to do that. And it can be lighthearted with Gemini here. Maybe it doesn't have to be so deep and brooding like if we were in Scorpio or something. So this is a good time to say what you actually feel and what's on your mind, what's in your heart, without having to be sunken down by it. Be curious about where this is coming from. Your mind is asking you to get curious about the Three of Swords, about the hurt, the disappointment, the things that really hurt us deep down, and the things that sting a little bit. So this is that call to really explore this. And with the second card, I got two cards here because this is what communication needs to happen. So firstly, we've got the Page of Cups, and I literally just got told dreams. So if you've been having a dream about something, I think it's just like talking to someone about it so that you can get it off your chest and maybe even become a reality, or you tell someone and it's like being held accountable for actions that you take in order to get that started. But also with the fish here, it's like there's something unexpected, maybe startling, like you go for a cup and then you get a damn fish. That's a little unexpected. So maybe communication about this hidden thing that you've been holding back. And maybe that even ties back into the Three of Swords here. Stop letting it go under the surface. But here are the two cards. Because this is a one pile reading, I just wanted to get two cards about what communication specifically needs to happen. Two different cards. You can resonate with both or not. So I just want to see here and give y'all options. So firstly, we've got two green cards. First one is moderation, and the second one is nature. It's interesting that the moderation comes out with a cup card because for me, it's easy to connect, moderation with drinking, with what's in your cup, what you're spending your time on, and your energy ultimately. And maybe it's a conversation with yourself or with other people around you about the moderation in your lives. And this doesn't have to be with exclusively drugs or alcohol, but it can definitely be whatever is being too much. Do you go out for lunch every day at work when you can just bring your own meals? It can be something as simple or as small as that, or something much bigger. And I think that's just that call for communication for whatever is in your life at this point. And the Page of Cups, if we go into that element, that's definitely about the heart space. It's about emotions and love and being able to come at this conversation from a place of love and with curiosity, again, as this is a page, so it's like one of the younger members of the court. So coming at it, trying to be a little lighthearted but serious at the same time. Not every conversation needs to have that king or queen energy, but it's still something that needs to be talked about. I just heard spending as well, especially with the green here. So moderation on spending, on how you spend your money, where it's going. Everybody says that they need to save, but then they dip into their savings for one reason or another, and that's just something to sit with and communicate about. So with this nature card, I will read from the guidebook just to see what it explicitly talks about. But here, intuitively, what's coming through is, the phrase of like, oh, it's in my nature, or something about that, like, how are you innately brought up, like nature versus nurture. And the thread that's coming through is communicating about what you think is just you in your DNA, or it just happens because you're in this situation. I don't know, there's something deeper about that, and having to get clear with yourself, like, okay, is this actually ingrained in me and I can't change it, or is this something I can change now that I'm aware of? Okay, the guidebook does have an important link here with nature and moderation. So I'll start, and it says, perhaps you've been spending too much time inside or around computers and electrical devices. Maybe you're feeling stressed, indecisive, or confused. By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to improve your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being by walking outside in nature. Just spending time outdoors, even 5-10 minutes, whatever that looks like for you. And maybe that's the moderation here, spending too much time inside, which does pair really well with the Page of Cups again, because she is outside. She's talking with the animals, experiencing nature, very surprised about this fish, because if she stayed inside all day, she wouldn't have met this fish. She wouldn't be here. So I think that's a really important concept, is that you need to talk with whoever you're around and get outside. Have an accountability partner, have someone to go outside with you, or if it's a discussion with your partner, it's like, hey dude, we gotta go outside. Let's go for a walk. Not all of us have a yard or a patio to sit with, but literally just talking to whoever you're with and say, hey, we've got to do something about this. We've got to moderate. We've got to go out in nature. We've got to have this conversation. So next up, we've got the devil. Ooh, love that. Because this is exactly where Gemini's shadow has been showing up. It's the overthinking. It's getting to like the worst possible outcome of things. Here, I'm seeing the devil as like starting with point A with something happens and then jumping straight to point Z without even thinking about the in-between. So it's like not everything is worst case scenario. So the energy of Gemini being inconsistent, again, jumping to and from, overthinking is costing you these chains, like being tied up with someone or a place that may not really be for you. And I'm getting drawn back to this nature card because some of us might feel that we have to stay a certain way or be a certain thing or whatever it may be because that's nature. That's just how it happened, without examining those chains and trying to get out if that's not something you actually want. Money is just top of mind as an example that's coming through. So just fit this with whatever situation resonates for you. But it's like, oh, I'm just going to spend this because I love to shop and I like this and this and that. Like overconsumption, basically. So it's not even giving a second thought to all of those things, all of the things that you buy, and thinking that like, oh, it's just in my nature. I'm just a Taurus, like that's just the first thing that comes to mind, especially coming out of Taurus season. And Gemini is asking you to get curious about those things, about those chains, in order to come out of that and really examine what you want to keep, what you want to let go going forward. Just stop taking it all at face value, taking it as it is. Ask yourself some questions. Self-evaluation, essentially. And lastly, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is a connection or conversation that will open something new for you. So this can be a family member or someone really stable. It doesn't have to be an old man or anything, but it's like someone giving you wisdom or giving you some curiosity this season, something to invest that energy of the Gemini of wanting to learn, wanting to be curious. someone who can show up for you and give you a direction, like point you somewhere. Like I'm getting tidbits of information, like little breadcrumbs that all add up to a bigger piece of the puzzle. I'm getting with connecting perhaps to someone wiser or older than you, and it doesn't have to be an old person. I'm just getting like someone with more maturity or knowledge in a certain aspect of life. It can be signing up for workshops because of a specific thing that you're interested in. And specifically this formation of the pentacles here is the tree of life, the Kabbalah. So if you want to go down that rabbit hole, be my guest. But that's something here that I just want to point out. But ultimately, if we get down to just the base of this card, it's stability, it's rooting, and being able to root somewhere. If you are in the shadow of Gemini, where you're jumping from thing to thing, you cannot be stable and grounded and rooted into one specific thing long enough to grow these thick trunks. So maybe this season, the something new that you're exploring is staying in one place long enough before jumping out. And I'd like to end on some fortunate notes here. I've got the Fortune Oracle deck, and we've got a powerful transformation is in store, embrace it, which I love because the transformation, the tree of life, if you've ever heard of the clip off, that path working, there's a lot in that in general, and I won't go into it here, but I love that these two are paired together. And secondly, we've got a sacred ritual will bring you clarity and insight. And honestly, I just heard going outside will bring you clarity and insight as well. It doesn't have to be an elaborate ritual, but it's definitely something that you can ponder. I just heard cord cutting as well, or maybe chain breaking, but seeing the swords and then the chains broken here, that really stood out to me as like, you don't have to succumb to your DNA or whatever you think you are by nature. You can change things if you so choose. You could nurture the nature and change that expression of your DNA or expression of whatever you think is natural to you. It's certainly an interesting concept, which I won't dive too much into here in this short tarot reading, but it's really interesting to sit with and ask ourselves what we can change. Interesting concept that I will leave you here to ponder about, and maybe something will jump out to you. But with that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. And again, just as a reminder, the announcement will be coming up after this. So if you watch it, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. I am popping in here just briefly because I wanted to take a second and let you know what I've been quietly working on behind the scenes, because it's finally here. Enrollment is finally open. Like I have mentioned previously, I'm expanding House of Astralis with a monthly membership community called the Astral Commons, and I want to be clear about what this actually is, because it's not a tarot course and it's not a spiritual content subscription. Each month we work with a tarot archetype as a lens for shadow work and real inner growth. And I know shadow work is a buzzword or maybe overused, but it's self-work. It's getting deep into ourselves and about why we are that we are and growing from it. So instead of just consuming content, you're actually using it as a tool to look at yourself, at the patterns, at the blocks, and the things you keep circling around. The archetype gives you something tangible to hold alongside the deeper work. There is no tarot experience needed. You just need a willingness to show up for yourself. But the cool thing is that if you are wanting to learn tarot, this embodiment practice and this way of getting deeper with the cards in a self-reflective lens will actually help you with certain meanings, or just being able to have your own meaning for that card when it may come up for you. So you don't have to read from the textbook and have to see what the guidebook says and what the key words are, because you'll have your own experience about this card. There are 3 tiers depending on how you like to work. If you are more of a solo, self-paced person, the entry tier gets you a monthly packet, reflection prompts, and access to the growing resource library. If you want community alongside the work, the middle tier adds a live monthly call and our Discord space. Here we can chat with each other back and forth about how the card is showing up for us that month and how we're experiencing that card, because all of us have our own take on it and it shows up differently for all of us, and I think that's so cool. It's so important for us to realize, oh, this card came up for you that way and it came up for me this way, but they're both valid. Just like the tarot has so many different meanings,
it's okay and it all matters, and it's just another thing to add to your bank of situations about how this card may come up. And if you want the full depth, 2 calls, bonus drops, in your own individual card pool in the monthly forecast video while the group is still small, that's the top tier. Prices right now are the lowest they may ever be because I will be raising them as the community grows. So if this is calling you, now is the perfect time. Again, enrollment opens on April 26th, so by the time you will see this, the link is in the description below. So I look forward to having you there. I look forward to meeting you and doing the inner work with you because I'm doing it alongside you. I'm doing this every month with myself, with you guys, and this is a great opportunity for me to see myself through the lens of the cards. And with that, that's my little spiel about what I've been working on, and I'm excited to be able to share this with you here and possibly see you in there.